100. Yeah, look, they said that I couldn't do it, so I went and did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is spinning. If you know, you know I've been on a what? Mission. Go. Okay, let's get it. Got a little time on my hands like a wristwatch. I don't got time for the brakes and the pit stop. Race through the gridlock, take it like Chris Rock. Right to the chin, still win. Heavy metals like Slipknot. Got the driving, I got tunnel vision. I just hit my stride the way I run the business. I've been making paper like I'm Dunder Mifflin. See the end game, I got one division. Look, I just did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is spinning. If you know, you know I've been on a mission. Go. Okay, let's get it.
Ready to go two-stepping in the Lone Star State, where everything's bigger, including the stakes. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Eliza Bethel alongside Matt Sisler for SnB's Round 6 for the Blue Sky 160 at Texas. Matt, how you doing tonight? We're headed here at Texas. It is going to be a slippery, slidey race.
Indeed it is, with these higher temperatures on this track. A tough track to handle with its reconfiguration a few years ago. These drivers should be used to it by now, but we'll have to see if any of these guys get caught out by the bump like some of their real-life counterparts did yesterday.
Yeah, we're going to have to keep an eye out for that for sure. All right, you guys know the drill. Before we get to the race, we do have driver spotlights. So let's welcome to the booth driver of the number 8 Snickers for Minutemen Motorsports, Mr. Tom Flitcroft, and Brennan Book, driver of the number 5 Chevy for also Minutemen Motorsports. Good evening, gentlemen. How you guys doing out there?
Oh, fantastic.
Glad to hear it.
Can't get any better.
I'm doing great.
All right, so for your first question tonight, all 3 Minutemen Motorsports drivers have secured a win already this season. Have you guys discussed anything about a championship at all? And we'll start with Brendan Book.
Honestly, I don't think we've really thought that far ahead yet. I think each of us are just taking it race by race. At least I am. And, because at this point in the season, we're 6 races in, I believe. There's, or 5 races in. We got 20 more races to go, a little under that.
Yeah.
So to me, it's way too early to be thinking about that, especially with all these tracks that we're going to. So we're trying to focus on week by week.
Fair enough. Tom, I know you have a win. Do you think you're going to get another one out there?
So, I was going to say, first of all, I don't even know how this happened. I mean, 3 of us winning, it's a dream come true for old Minutemen. But, as far as the championship goes, I think Brendan's kind of selling us a little short here, because all 3 of us have won Shake and Bake championships before.
That is true.
So, I don't think it's, I don't think it's really... I don't really think it's anybody else's year except for Minutemen.
Ooh, all right. Bringing it to the table here. Okay.
Confident Tom there.
All right, question number 2. Who's one driver you're keeping an eye on tonight? And we're going to start with Tom. Take that how you want, I'll say.
Honestly, I think Jimmy's probably going to be hard to beat. Harmon, I haven't seen... If he's going to be here, he's always really good at places like this. Mile and a halves are always really good, especially on the long run. But, I wouldn't be surprised to see somebody else pop up. We wouldn't expect, like a Francis Hamilton or something like that. And at the end of these things, if there's a late race restart, anybody could win. But I'll be honest, my pick for tonight is Brody Falliker.
Ooh, okay. All right. Mr. Brendan, what about you? Who is the driver that you're going to keep your eye on tonight?
Me and Tristan have to have a talk with Tom back in the hauler, because I don't know why he didn't pick Tristan. But to keep it outside the team and non-biased, honestly, I think Jimmy looks to be pretty fast.
Okay.
I know he's had some bad luck this year, so he seems like he's due for a really good run, even though he won Daytona.
There you go.
So I would go with Jimmy.
All right, fair enough. Next question. What's the last thing you ate? And we're gonna ask Brendan first.
Oh,
What did you answer?
sorry.
Oh.
I thought my mic was muted. It was not. But considering I just ate 5 minutes ago,
Yeah.
or finished eating, some DiGiorno carnivore thin crust pizza. Ate the whole thing. Delicious.
I knew that's what you're gonna say. That is usually what you're eating when we're in a party
Now,
together.
honestly, these days I get home from work. It takes like 12 minutes in the oven, minimal effort. Eat the whole thing during practice. I'm good to go for the next 2 hours or so.
Nice. You gotta love pizza. You can't go wrong. All right, Tom. What's the last thing you ate?
Banana, like, what time is it? About 10 hours ago.
10 hours
and,
ago.
I'm drinking Sierra Nevada IPA, and that's pretty good, but I'm not going to lie. Really should have had, like, a sandwich or something, because I'm starting to get really hungry, and I'm realizing I'm not going to be able to eat for another hour and a half or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you know that's bad for you. This is why I keep getting fat. I keep eating late at night, and I binge eat, and you know, I'm going downhill. You know, I'm gonna be 33 in a week, and maybe I'll win on my birthday because I definitely don't think I'm gonna win tonight.
Yeah,
but
it's coming up on the 11th. I know it's coming up soon.
Is
Yeah.
Dr. Phil gonna be on or something?
I think so. Yeah.
Could be.
He's been
Could be.
walking me through this.
Very
so.
nice. Very nice. All right, next question. What is one thing we don't know about you? And we're going to start with Tom.
So, I think you might remember this, but I don't think a lot of people know this.
Yeah.
And this was a question I wanted to ask other people, the one that I texted you that I thought was funny, but I always wonder what people race with as far as, like, do they have shoes on, blah, 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 no shoes. So the only time, and it sounds probably weird as hell to you guys, but I race barefoot.
That's weird, Tom.
I have to
Same.
race barefoot.
Really?
It just feels weird, like unnatural, even if I just have socks on, or you know.
Wow.
I mean, in a
agree.
perfect world, I'd love to just like have shoes on and
Yeah.
have the feel of like a real car.
Yeah.
Preach.
Okay.
But
No. Preach.
Just-
I'm right there
yeah,
with you.
yeah, I'm weird.
I've tried with shoes. It just doesn't feel like you have
Yeah,
enough, like, response.
it doesn't feel right. It feels just
That's
just
crazy.
not
Weird.
real at all.
Okay.
Feels more real without the shoes and without the socks. It's got to have that skin feel on those nice cold pedals.
You had to make it
Yeah,
weird.
that thing, you know, hey, whatever works for you, you know?
It's all about the immersion, you know.
All right, Brendan, what is
Oh.
one thing we don't know about you?
I would probably say I'm a big Lego guy. I was actually before
Really?
practice. While my pizza was heating up, I was building my new Lego set for Project Hail Mary. Fantastic movie, by the way, if you haven't seen
Okay.
it. So yeah, it just came the other Saturday night,
Yeah.
and I started putting it together last night. Did a little bit more, so I'm a big Lego guy. So I have a bunch of different Legos collection I'm starting to build up here.
Very interesting. All right.
Yep.
And the final question, this is from Pete Ruzick from last week. He says, as a longtime SnB driver, which win has been your favorite? And we're going to start with Brendan.
Oh, Eliza, you're not gonna like this one.
Yeah, I can
Um,
already tell. I already know what it is.
So it was my first season in Shake and Bake in the Xbox side, and it was Homestead Miami for the championship. There's a BDF Gaming, right? There was Eliza or Frozen Toes that I knew her at that time, and me. I can't remember who the other person was in the championship. To be honest, they didn't matter. I took 4 tires like a dummy with like 9 laps to go. Everybody else took like 2. Or I think Eliza took none, and maybe BDF took none or 2 or something. I flew up, caught y'all, and then as BDF door slammed you into 3 in the last lap, I went right on by with a wave out the right side window. and
I
took
was
the
very
championship.
I still
I'm
remember
sorry,
that.
at the end- There's a clip somewhere. I think on my
Unfortunately.
Xbox save.
Yeah, there is, unfortunately.
Is that like NASCAR Heat Evolution?
Man,
Yeah,
I don't
think
even
so. Or Heat 2.
remember.
I think it was Heat 2.
Was
I think
it?
it was Heat 2.
Oh my gosh, forever ago.
I just remember Metallica, who we probably haven't heard from in forever. Just his voice, like as you know, my gamer tag, the Cosmic Storm,
Yep.
was just cosmic. Oh my god!
I know.
Just,
Oh man, you just had to remind me, didn't you? That's crazy work.
Yep.
All right, Tom, we'll go on over to you. Which win as an SnB driver has been your favorite?
I'm gonna do one from Xbox and one from iRacing, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
So the iRacing ones, the 2 Daytona ones, they're equally just as good
Yeah.
in my opinion. I kind of do like the second one a little bit more, but the one that I think the favorite one is the one that got me the championship. I know Jacob Kerr, old Rangers, he probably hates it, but ended up saving tires and fuel and just did just good of enough of a job to end up getting my first championship after getting, I don't know, a couple wins in a row at the end of the year from a come behind victory. So
Nice.
that was pretty awesome. He still never liked my Twitter post. He said he's never liking it. So.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, but it was, you know what I mean, because he's like one of my best friends, you know,
Right.
known him for a long time, so it was awesome to that
Yeah.
rivalry and have it come down to the wire like that. But
For sure.
he's still a little salty about me saving gas and tires. So.
Hey, you know what? We've all been there. I feel his pain on stuff like that, so I get it.
Oh, 100%. I've been on the wrong end of it so many times
Yep.
myself, so it was nice to finally be on the right end of it for once.
All right, real quick, do you guys have a question for the drivers in the next race?
I think I got a good one. If you don't have one, Tom.
Do they race barefoot or not? That's mine.
Okay.
Oh,
All
God.
right. What about you, Brendan?
I was just say I was gonna kind of follow along, repeat, and go with something SnB related. I was gonna say, what's one track on the schedule this season that they would want that's not on the schedule
Okay.
that they would want on the schedule for next season? I think that's a good one.
Fair enough. I
that
like
one,
it.
yeah.
I like it. All right, guys. I know
Talladega.
we're here at qualifying, so I will let you guys go, but thank you so much for chatting with us in the booth. It's been a blast.
Thank you.
All right.
Absolutely.
We'll get these guys on over to their chats here, but man, we're already in qualifying, Matt. It's going to be a wild one, I think. A little loose out here.
Absolutely, with the track temp being what it is, Texas being what it is, it's it's an unusual mile and a half, and I wouldn't say it's as unusual as like Darlington, but it does have that Darlington-esque thing of if you're better in one set of corners, you might be worse in another. If you're very good in the normal mile and a half style 3 and 4, the progressive banking 1 and 2, you might be a little bit worse off, and you have to hit turns 1 and 2 properly.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't, your whole lap can come undone just because you can run so many lanes here. If you have to carry so much momentum off the corner, but you have to do it within the least amount of like track used. So it's very tricky. We'll see who has the right line.
Yeah, for sure. And I know coming off these exits can be a little tricky, a little loose coming out of 2, so it's something that we're going to have to look at. I mean, these guys are going to be racing as hard as they can, and when that happens, you might get a little too eager on that throttle, and it can be very, very disastrous. So we'll see how it goes, but so far, Brody Folliker, 29.812, sitting on the pole so far. We'll see if he gets knocked out, but Josh Cole in second, 29.9. Philip Bridgman, 29.999. And Jordan McGraw out there with a 30.0. Ryan Robertson rounding out your top 5 with a 30.2. And look at this, Riley Sawyer goes straight to the top of the board. So we'll see what that does. But Brett, I see you out there. Thank you so much for the follow. Real, how you doing? David, Stacka, hope everyone is doing great out there in chat.
Yep, Riley doing a great job. A nice Jimmy Johnson impression going to the top of the board in that 84 low Chevy. It's Joe Turley from my screen almost got the wall off of turn 4, coming to complete his second lap. See if an improvement a little bit, but improves the time, does not improve position.
Yeah, Fortson Poston going up to P2, Tristan Helf in third. Riley still holding out in the lead. Matthew Gale in 9th. Andrew Sanford sitting 8th. Rounding out your top 10 is going to be Nick Tarana with Ryan Robertson on the outside looking in. And David Moransky, how about this? He goes to P2. So very, very close times tonight. But I'm telling you what, it's going to be scary. These first couple of laps in the race coming out of exit 2, it's going to be very scary with how loose it is, especially on those cold tires.
Absolutely, and of course we saw it get a number of drivers yesterday. The bump in turns 3 and 4, if you don't remember, it's up there while you're fighting. With these cars being so low to the ground and the suspensions being stiffer than on the O'Reilly series cars and on the trucks, it could bite you and it can send you around before you even realize it. So it's something to definitely keep an eye on.
Yeah, you said it there. Ooh, Jimmy Cocker hard into the wall, but not before he gets on pole. 29.695. I do believe that's the fastest we have seen all night as far as a solo run. So absolutely blistering speed out there from Mr. Jimmy Cocker, who also has a win so far this season. He got that at, I do believe it was Daytona, and he's looking for a second win this season.
Yep, he pulled off the Denny Hamlin, where now he's got 3 wins at Daytona, even though he says he doesn't know how. he has 3 wins at Daytona. Very fast on the pole. Looks like that might be it. And impressive he got it on the opening lap. Usually it takes a second lap for the car to be like fully warmed up. Really, with these next gens, it takes like probably like really 3 or 4 laps. It's why if you see like results from a race and you wonder why the fastest laps are like 3rd or 4th lap of a run, that's because that's when the tires are the best and the car feels the best before the tires start to wear and everything happens. First 2 laps can be very tricky, so it's impressive that Jimmy got it on lap 1.
Absolutely. I agree with you. That is so sketchy out there. Cold tires are definitely a thing, but here we go. Mr. Jimmy Cocker on pole. Joe Berg, he captures second, so let's go ahead and bring out the grid on where we're starting tonight. Pretty crazy already race time, but here we go. Jimmy Cocker, he is going to be on pole in that 11 machine with a 29.695. Joe Berg going to be on his outside in that 93 car. In row 2, we're going to have Riley Sawyer in the 84 car with David Moransky in the 711. Row 3 going to be Francis Hamilton in the 48 with Fortson Poston sitting to his outside. Row 4 is going to be Tristan Helf in the 38 with Austin Mitty in the 77. And in row 5, we're going to have Brody Folliker in the 42 with Evan Adams in that 3 machine.
Starting off row number 6, we have we have our actual, I believe, both interviewees from tonight, Eliza. We have Brendan Book and Thomas Flitcroft on row 6.
Yeah.
Row 7, Jose Ruiz and Jordan McGraw. Row 8 is Josh Cole and Philip Bridgman. Row 9, Andrew Sanford and Matthew Gale. And row 10 is Nick Tarana and Ryan Robertson.
Row 11 is going to be Christopher Pugliese in that 1 machine with Joseph Turley in that number 30. Row 12 is going to be Luke Allen with Brian Pizzikimi to his outside. And last but certainly not least is going to be Travis Stroney in the 14 car. He sits P25. And that is going to be our field tonight. A couple of drivers unable to show up. And I can tell you, Thomas Harmon, unfortunately, he says, enjoy the points lead takeover because he will not be able to be there tonight.
No, and that's a shame because Tom, wherever he usually starts on the grid, is always a threat at the end of the race. So, shame he'll lose the points lead. Don't expect him to be out of the fight for very long.
Yeah, once we get these guys green, we'll have to take a look at the points. And Tom Flitcroft moving up, I think it was 16 spots or 11 spots. We'll have to double check that once I get in there. But he moved up quite a bit after his win last week.
And very impressive win as well for him. He needed to find a win again, and good job to see Tom get it. And now you got Minutemen with multiple wins, and we'll see what happens tonight, whether it'll be a repeat or, which I believe would be the first time we've had a repeat, because I think we've had 5 different winners in 5 races. So we'll see if we finally get a repeat or if we're going to get a 6th new winner out of 6 races.
We'll find out, but not looking good for Brendan Book. I do see that he is on pit lane. I know he was in the middle of a storm. Lost internet connection for a minute, but here we go, getting ready to go to green for 107 laps here at Texas Motor Speedway. Jimmy Cocker gonna be at the helm here. Joe Berg on his outside. A great start for these two side by side, all ready for the lead and all the way through the field.
Yep, and a really nice jump from Joe to stay with Jimmy. Jimmy very good on restarts this season. He's going to just clear the 93 off too and fall into line ahead of him with the 84 and 711 behind them in third and fourth.
Take a look at all those drivers behind him. They are just scattered out trying to find any piece of track, trying to get that clean air and make sure that they have the grip on the track that they need to run it properly. It is just a very difficult time the first couple of laps before the tires heat up. So it's going to be a little sketchy for these guys, but man, so far, so good.
Absolutely. These drivers doing a very, very nice job. They have, and it's better to play, like, almost drive defensively these first few laps. Let the car come up to temperature, let the tires get up to temperature. Don't make any over-aggressive moves unless you know you can make it stick. Just let the car come to you and then build up to later in the run.
Looks like Jimmy Cocker and Joe Berg, Riley Sawyer, these guys single file line, and they're starting to get that way through about half the field, but the rest, they're still fighting for those positions, going too wide to see Tom Flitcroft and that 24 of Philip Bridgman. These two going for P12 as they battle it out.
Yep, and then Josh Cole getting around Jose Ruiz behind him, and Andrew Sanford immediately keeping it too wide as he goes to the outside of the 23 into turn one.
Jimmy Cocker increasing that gap just a little bit in the lead. He's got Joe Berg, which having a fantastic run in qualifying and here in the race. I know he's had some bad luck in the races. I hope to get him out here in the booth afterwards, which you know what that means. You got a top three in the race. Let's make it happen.
Would be a very nice thing to see Joe have a run. He's had great speed. A number of, like we've said this with a number of drivers, Eliza, that they've had great speed, but the luck hasn't been there. And it's honestly, that's how it goes. If you don't have the good luck to back up your good speed, it can be a very long season. Hopefully Joe can put it all together and join us up in the booth.
That 7-Eleven was down pretty low on the backstretch. Not sure exactly what happened with him, if he got loose coming out of two. But he is still off and running. He's got Brody Folliker to his outside. Brody has gained 3 positions. Meanwhile, David, who had a great qualifying effort, currently he's lost 3. But it is still a very early race. Plenty of time to make that back up.
Can confirm he did get a little bit loose off of turn 2, and better to let the car come back to you and then keep going rather than try to drive out of it, especially in these cars when they get loose like that. It's a nice job to hang on to it.
Top 3 trying to get away from the rest of the field. They have a bit of a separation between, I would say, the top 6 drivers, 6-7 drivers, and then they start to get a little bunched up after that. But man, Texas going to see a little bit of separation out here, but I haven't seen too many drivers really try to lose it off turn 2. Knock on wood, everyone, but hey, take a look. Austin Mitty and David Moransky going side by side, trying to get those positions and having a heck of a battle. Meanwhile, Jordan McGraw in that 34 machine saying, you guys got to do something because I got places to go. He wants to get by them.
Absolutely. He'd love a good showing in that home state car, that Texas Tech 34. I know he'd love to have a good run and put it up in the top 3. We'll see if he can pull it off.
A lot of drivers told me that they are going down into 4th gear in turns 1 and 2. Not only that, but after about 13 laps, some of the drivers were saying that their tire wear around 81%. So, man, this is going to be a race of you got to take care of your machine.
24 drifting out of 2. I think he saves it. Good save by Philip Bridgman. That was nearly disaster in front of a cluster of cars.
Yeah, I guess that thing.
Sorry,
no, you're good. Absolutely, let us know. Ryan Robertson, he is right behind him too. He's got Brian Pizzakimi, who always starts in the back, so he is going to have an uphill battle to climb. I'm not going to see too many cautions, I'm hoping, tonight, but we'll see what happens in the race.
Yeah, and to confirm, Brendan Book is out there running. He's in the tail of the field, but long race, at least he didn't lose a lap or anything like that, not being able to start alongside the grid, but it's tough to come back from that, but, you know, it could very easily happen. He's a very, very solid driver.
All right, things seem to be pretty settled out here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the points so far. As of last week, we had Thomas Harmon. He is in the lead, 173 points moving into tonight. However, he could not show up tonight. That's going to take him out of the lead. Brendan Book in second with 160 points. Jimmy Cocker, P3 with 147. His teammate for FIWB and fourth, he's going to be Francis Hamilton, 145 points. Meanwhile, we talked about him earlier, Thomas Flitcroft gains 16 positions after last week's win. He sits P11. Yeah, it's a long season, though. Anything is possible, and like we've talked about it in the booth here, Minutemen Motorsports, that's going to be Tristan Helf, Brendan Book, and Tom Flitcroft. All three drivers have gotten a win so far, and I do believe that is the first team this season that has gotten a win. So a great job for these guys, and I think we're going to see a few more throughout the season.
Absolutely. These guys have, Minutemen has shown off a really good pace early in the season. All of them getting 3 wins in the first 5 races for that team. Great start to the season. Hopefully they can keep it going as David Moransky gets loose again off of turn 2, and that's going to allow Austin Mitty by down the back straightaway.
Yeah, take a look. Jordan McGraw trying to take a peek on the inside. These two have raced together in the F1 League for SnB, so no stranger to each other, and here they are back on track side by side, and this is going to be for P9 in the top 10. So you know both of these drivers going to try to hold on to it, but I think David might be struggling a little bit. As you've mentioned, he's gotten loose a couple of times here.
Yep, and it's very, very easy to do out of turn 2 at Texas specifically. It's deceptive, that corner. It looks like it would be very easy to just drive in, get in the gas, and have the car turn. The problem is with these Gen 7s, they have less feel in the wheel when you come off a corner or just in general. So you might not feel that slipping as quickly as you would in a Gen 6 or the O'Reilly Series car or a truck. So it's going to be tricky. I think we're going to see a number of these drivers, especially once the run continues, starting to have that same issue that the 711s had early.
2-man breakaway for the lead. Jimmy Cocker and Joe Berg, they are starting to gap the rest of the field, doing a fantastic job as they are entering turn 1 out here. Man, oh man, and take a look at that line led by Riley Sawyer. We have him in third, Fortson Poston in fourth here, Evan Adams. He gains 5 positions, sitting in the top 5. Brody Folliker in 6th, Francis Hamilton in 7th, Austin Mitty 8th, exactly where he started. Tristan Helf 9th, and Jordan McGraw in that top 10.
And Josh Cole has gotten around David Moransky for that 11th position. He's Moransky 12th. Tom Flitcroft currently sitting 13th, with Andrew Sanford looking to maybe go for the move, but he currently sits 14th, and Matthew Gale rounds out the top 15.
Joseph Turley going to be in 16th, with Luke Allen sitting up 6 spots in 17th. Nick Tarana and that 10 machine going to be 18th. Jose Ruiz and 19th after last week's great run. Christopher Pugliese in 20th, and Brian Pizzikimi in 21st.
Yep, and then rounding out the field, you have Philip Bridgman 22nd, Ryan Robertson currently is 23rd, Brendan Book going through the grass, trouble on the front straightaway into the wall, single car spin, will it be a caution? Travis Stroney coming through, he's going to avoid it, but the caution is going to fly.
Man,
I think that needed to be done.
Yeah, I think so. Let's have a look with Brendan and see how that exactly happened, but looks like he's coming off the exit there. Yeah, just gets super loose, a little high, and comes off, goes in the grass, trying to make his way back on the track and just can't hold it. Really unfortunate.
Nope. And again, he's even out of the gas coming through, coming off four, so he could feel it starting to go around. And then the problem is when he gets in the grass, I heard him throttle up. The problem with that is these cars, again, they sit so low to the ground that all that's going to do is destabilize the car even more. It's unfortunate, but that happened. He had it saved. It looked like it was going to be one heck of a save if he could have kept it straight.
Man, tough one out there. First caution of the night here at Texas. We're going to see if any drivers go in. It'll be interesting to see what that strategy is, or will they stay out to keep their position? David, I see out there, when does the second qualifying session? I know I'm late. But yeah, these guys doing a great job. And here we go, our leaders coming in. Looks like our top 13 up to 17 now, so I think we're going to see everyone go in here.
Yeah, probably a smart play. Depending on the tire sets, is you would want to get fresh tires on on your cars as quickly as possible. We may see a little strategy with maybe some guys thinking they've saved enough to go for 2 tire stops. Probably going to see the majority take on 4.
I think so. I can't see it any other way. We have 107 laps here tonight. It is a long race, and there's no better time than if you have a caution right now, go get those tires. Fill up your fuel. I mean, there's no reason not to, but take a look at this battle coming off of pit lane. Who's going to get it? It looks like it's going to be Joe Berg. No, maybe Jimmy Cocker. Cocker. He gets it. Man, they were inside of each other on the way out of pit road, so you know it was very close.
Absolutely. The iRacing ghosting system working to make sure that we don't have a repeat of the real-life Texas's pit road issues. Sorry, Joey Logano fans, if you are out there. I know that one had to hurt yesterday.
All right, I want to have a chat with Mr. Joe Turley. Joe, it's Eliza in the booth. How you doing out there?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
And you have gained 12 positions out there, looking solid. How's the night? How's the track feeling for you?
Oh, I'm loving the track. It feels great. Just being able to hit that top lane a little bit in 1 and 2, carry that run, and then I don't know how I did it, but I just gained 4 spots on pit road, so happy to be in the top 10.
Yeah, I'd say that's a great pit stop. So what's the hardest part of this track tonight? Is it dirty air? Is it the track conditions? What is it for you?
It's definitely, dirty air is definitely a factor. That's why it's just hitting that top lane where nobody else is. Just kind of keep that nose clean and then see how my car can do from there. The tire wear is definitely strong tonight, so just got to mind your equipment, mind the track, mind the people, and you might make it to the end of this thing.
There you go. I wish you a ton of luck tonight. Hope to see you in the booth afterwards, but man, looking solid out there.
Thank you so much. Hope to be back.
All right, you heard it there from Joe Turley, having a great night here for Dart Motorsports, and they have a new player in town on the team, and it is going to be Evan J. Adams. So a big welcome to him on the Dart team there.
Yeah, already getting silly season moves from Shake and Bake. I guess it starts even earlier than the Cup Series now.
The pace car lights are out. That means we're getting ready to go back to green. Mr. Jimmy Cocker going to lead the field. Joe Berg to his outside. Fortson Poston directly behind Jimmy Cocker. We'll see how it goes. But Jimmy and Joe, man, they had a great run on the last run. They were leaving and gapping the field. Can they do it again?
Indeed. They were off and running. That was very impressive. I would have wanted to see how the long run would have played out, but we are back to green and a great jump by that 11 to get out in front.
Here we go, everyone. 2 by 2 all the way through. As you said, Jimmy Cocker out front and already trying to gap the field. He's got Joe Berg in the 93 right behind him, and then you got 2 wide. That's going to be for Riley Sawyer and Brody Folliker. So these two battling it out for P4.
Indeed, they got and Folliker looking to the outside of that 84, coming through 3 and 4, but he tucks back in line. He'll stay P5 for now, with Evan Adams having another really nice run here in his debut for Dart Motorsports.
Yeah, he's doing a great job at 4 spots. Up P6 currently, Francis Hamilton. He's in 7th currently, and we saw him very, very strong in practice. I feel like he's got fast cars week in and week out, so great to see him out there. And we do have the 2-wide battle behind them. It's going to be Josh Cole and Joseph Turley, who we just spoke to from the booth. So these guys going for it for P8.
Definitely going after it. A number of guys still too wide, but we've been seeing it happen very quickly here, at least in these first two, the first start and then the first restart, excuse me, that a lot of the field likes to get single file as quickly as possible. That's kind of a surprise, and it kind of goes against what we see on other mile-and-a-halves.
Yeah, you can see them making their way around single file, and in the back of the field, they are still battling it out, trying to gain every position. And single file, you know, it's going to be good, as in you want to try to get that.
Luke Allen. Oh, he has it. I think he saved it. Great job. I don't know if it was Austin Mitty or Philip Bridgman got into the back of him on entry. That's an impressive save for these cars, because we've seen it so many times where one of these Gen 7s gets hit, slides into a corner, and the driver counter steers, and it goes straight in the wall. Great job by the 7 to keep it pointed in the correct direction.
Yeah, you know, and that's right midfield where things can get very sketchy very quickly. So great job for him to save that.
Indeed, and especially because you have one of the championship contenders behind him in Tom Flitcroft. We've already seen one championship challenger have a problem tonight, and not talking about Tom Harmon not being here. Brendan Book with his self-spin to bring out the first caution. Could this be a bad night for our championship frontrunners?
We're going to find out soon enough, but Tom Flitcroft on board with him. He started 12th. He's currently 20th. I heard him say multiple times tonight, I don't know what I'm missing here. How do I go faster? He said it just feels weird, and he just doesn't have the track down, and you can see him getting a little loose, trying to hold on to it. Here we come at a 4. At a 4 seems to be pretty easy, no big deal, but at a 2, it's a whole different story, and he's trying to make his way through traffic. He's doing a great job, but I know he is all over this wheel trying to hold on to it.
And track temp at the race start was 103 degrees. It's probably only going to get warmer unless we get a little bit of cloud cover here in Fort Worth. So it is going to get trickier as the race goes on, especially as tire wear gets more and more prevalent.
Yeah, I'm not sure they want to hear that, though. That's for sure. But take a look back at our leader, Jimmy Cocker.
In the grass.
Oh.
He keeps it straight. Good job by everybody scattering to get away from it, and he didn't lose it like Brendan Book did. So good job by Pugliese, and we stay green.
Evan Adams looks like he's might have an issue here. We see him down low. I saw him just dropping hard in the standings here. So he's back on track, but I'm kind of curious. Does he have any damage? Did he hit that inside wall? A lot of drivers getting loose here. We're seeing it happen more and more, Matt.
Yeah, and it's just the track rubbers up, your tires start to wear. Yes, he did. He got loose on corner exit, tried to drift it, tried to save it. He actually did a great job to keep it from coming back up in front of the field. He almost hit somebody passing him, did slide down and got the inside wall. We'll have to see how bad the damage is, as I believe Brendan Book may be taking that 5 car to the garage. I think that car might be done.
Yeah, I just took a look on pit lane, and he is definitely a lot of damage out there. And Riley Sawyer, not exactly sure what happened to him, but I don't know if he lagged out of the session, but he went from up top to straight into 24th. Not a great place to see, especially when you're having a solid race tonight.
No, and that is something I'm going to go investigate. The last I saw, he was rolling the top of 1 and 2, and yeah, there it is. Lost connection.
Yeah.
That's brutal. He had just made a really nice pass on Brody Follicker, rolling that top in 1 and 2, which is a great way to do it. You can do it fairly well here with thanks to that progressive banking. It's a shame that he lagged out, but he should be back in the session, so hopefully it's not going to cost him too many laps.
Yeah, he's going to need a caution after that for sure. But on board with our leader, Jimmy Cocker. He started first. He's currently first. He's strong at Texas. About half a second in front of Joe Berg. Let's talk about Joe. I mean, he has had a phenomenal run so far tonight. He sits P2, exactly where he started. So our top 2 drivers, very, very consistent tonight as we're on lap 34 of 107. We'll see if they can hold on to it. But Fortson, he sits P3. He started 6th. He's currently 3rd. He's had a crazy season. He is a rookie in SnB, but I'll tell you what, the guy has speed, very talented, very consistent, and man, he has gained a lot in points. Great to see him out here.
Indeed, another driver that has had he's another one that we can put into that category, Eliza, can't we? Of fast, but has had no. If he doesn't have bad luck, he has no luck. Excuse me, folks, for stumbling over my own idioms today. But he's really been in that situation where he.
Ooh, David in the grass. Sorry.
No luck.
David Moransky gets loose. He is now sideways. Hopefully he can get it saved. He's trying to woe it up. And yeah, he's off and running. But man, oh man, not looking good for him. Another driver losing it coming off the exit here.
Yep, and that's this track. I mean, good job by David to not get hit, to keep the car down. Not easy to do. I believe Philip Bridgman got a piece of him as well. I think David, yep, just both of them. The 24 and the 711 both had it.
Wow.
Bridgman kept it straight and managed to, wow, he went for a wild ride. That car got airborne going over the grass, but manages to keep it straight, and then David able to get it pointed in the correct direction and no caution.
Yeah, we keep it green at lap 38 of 107. We've had 1 caution so far tonight, but man, that doesn't tell the story of how these drivers have to be all over that wheel trying to hold on to that car. It is slippery out there. I warned you guys, and here we go. I have not seen our leader, knock on wood, have not seen him get loose, but you know they're all over that wheel.
Yeah, it's something that you really have to be aware of, and it's all down to track condition as well. If this was a night race, these guys would have more grip. I'm not saying we wouldn't be seeing guys have issues off turns 2 and 4, but it would be a lot easier to hold on to these cars. So if the temperature keeps climbing, tire wear keeps coming in, better be ready. There might be some chaos later in the race. Obviously, we don't hope for that, but it could happen.
That is true. That is true. Thomas, I see out there stirring the pot. He says, Jimmy's so slow, he should be happy. I'm not there. Hey, you know what? We wish you were here. Points leader coming into tonight. Just unfortunate you could not be here. Sober David says, Comcurse incoming. Let's hope not, but you know as well as I do, would not be the first time.
No, it would not, and it would be the first time in May, but it would not be the first time this season that one of us has accidentally jinxed a driver.
So true. Take a look at these drivers, our top 2 drivers once again, leaving a gap to the rest of the field. Fortson Poston leading that second part of the field with Brody Folliker taking that high side, going for the clean air, trying to find a line that will work for him. Meanwhile, Tristan Helf, he sits P5 right behind Francis Hamilton in that 48 machine. He's going to be 6th. Josh Cole 7th. Joseph Turley, who we talked to earlier, seemed to love the car, said dirty air is definitely a factor and have to save those tires. He sits P8.
Yeah, and then rounding out the top 10, we have Nick Tarana and Austin Mitty with Andrew Sanford, Matthew Gale, Tom Flitcroft, Luke Allen, and Jose Ruiz. For the moment, as Riley, well, that's Riley Sawyer, as Jose Ruiz is P15. You have to excuse me, I saw a car coming fast on the outside. I was like, oh, he's about to get passed. Riley's a couple laps down after a glitch in the connection.
Brian Pizzakimi, he's up 8 spots from where he started. He is 16th. Philip Bridgman, we saw him have an earlier issue. He's out there 17th with Jordan McGraw, 18th, and Evan Adams, side by side. This is going to be with Travis Stroney. This is for P20th. Ryan Robertson going to be right ahead of them in 19th. Christopher Pugliese 22nd. David Moransky, he is solo, not the greatest place you want to be. Not a great feeling. He sits 23rd.
Nope, but he is ahead of our only car off the lead lap at this point. That would be Riley Sawyer, and Brendan Book, after his earlier accident that brought out the caution, has taken the number 5 to the garage. He's our only DNF to this point.
All right, back to our leader, Jimmy Cocker. About 2/10 in front of Joe Berg, and I'm just really impressed with Joe and his run tonight. I hope to see him be able to finish in that spot, or better, it would be great to have him as a winner. Absolutely. We'll see what happens, but Brody Folliker not too far behind, another FIWB teammate out here doing a fantastic job. Tristan Helf, though, he does have a win so far this season, looking to make it 2 for the season for Minutemen Motorsports.
Indeed, great runs from Tristan. He got the monkey off his back with the win. Looking at Joe Berg, I like what he's doing, especially in 1 and 2. He's realized that he's not going to get Jimmy off the bottom in 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. So Joe is running in that third groove in 1 and 2, almost up by the wall in 3 and 4. Not quite up there, but he's gaining so much momentum right now and being in relatively clean air, getting out of the dirty air of that 11. It's allowed him to reel Jimmy back in. We'll see if we're going to have a fight for the lead any moment.
You can hear him downshifting into turn 1 and 2, riding that seam both in 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and he gets a little loose. He saves it, does a fantastic job. Doesn't lose too much time, but just enough to be like, man, can't do that again. You cannot give up too much, especially out front. They will hound you for the rest of the field here. So very close to that wall, but he is still off and running.
Indeed, and that is one of the things that drivers have to think about downshifting into 4th gear. It is possible to do the full lap like most tracks in 5th gear here and not lose a lot of time. But to get that maximum power on corner exit, you have to be down in 4th with the revs higher. Higher revs means if you get on the gas a little too quick, it can step the back end out of these Gen 7s. So good job by Joe to keep it right in line and stay in P2 for the moment.
Yeah, Jimmy Cocker is hoping that happens again. He says, you know what, that just gained me a few tenths, and looks like Joe Berg having a little bit of trouble here. Tristan Helf making his way up side by side past Brody Folliker, and Joe Berg on that high side. Not sure if he got loose, but man, that is tough. He's still out here trying to fight for that 2nd spot.
Yes, he is, and I guarantee you, running that top side, you're going to burn the tires up a little bit more than when you just wrap the bottom in both sides of the track. Maybe Joe got his tires a little too hot as Tristan dives it in. Nice job by Joe, though, to get the momentum high and stay on the right rear of that 38 on corner exit.
On board with Brody right now, looking at this battle, and he's just saying, man, somebody needs to mess up so I can take that spot. I don't think he's interested in trying to kill those tires, though. I think Joe is starting to struggle with that tire wear, and we're seeing it as he falls back, getting loose, and Tristan is able to overcome in that position here. But Gary, I see you out there in chat. Tom, he was in the booth tonight for an interview. He sits 12th currently.
Now, which Tom was he referring to? Because there was Tom Harmon as well.
Well, that's true. He's talking about Mr. Tom Flitcroft, who's almost into the inside wall. Manages to save it. Man, does a great job, but he's struggling tonight. I know, like I said, he was saying, I don't know what to do for this track. I don't know how to get more speed. He said, what do I need to do, guys?
And Texas is that way. Like, he seems to have a fairly solid car in turns 3 and 4, but 1 and 2, you need that momentum. You need to keep up the speed, at least maintain with the other cars. And it is so difficult to watch other guys drive away from you here when you feel like you're doing the right things. So hopefully he can kind of figure it out as we go along, as we're almost a half distance.
I asked some drivers how their fuel tank was gonna go. When did they need to go in and take tires? You know, it was kind of mixed. There was some saying you can go a full tank. Others were saying, I say by lap 40 we're going in. So let's see, what is their stint length so far? We're on lap 32. I'd say in the next 10 or so laps, we're going to see some drivers come in to take 4 fresh Goodyear tires.
Indeed, and that makes it interesting as well, Eliza. Speaking from personal experience, it is very easy to save a few extra laps of fuel, whether you're in the lead or in the pack.
Ooh.
Hypothetically, if a driver gets to about lap 63, I'm going into Larry Mack mode here, about lap 63, if you can save a little bit now, you can save a little bit more, and without a caution coming out, God forbid that happens, without a caution, it's a one-stop race if you can stretch that fuel just a little bit, and that could be a huge advantage, not having to come back down and top off late.
Absolutely. I do think, man, you definitely don't want to make more than one stop. So some of these guys definitely probably going to save here and try to make it last to the remainder of the race. We're going to find out, but man, I can imagine those tires are screaming for some of these drivers, especially the ones that have lost it coming off the exits. You know the tires are just saying, help me.
Yeah, oh, for sure they are. And that's another thing. If you're saving fuel in these cars, you're naturally going to be saving the tires a little bit. So just if you're taking it easy on the fuel, on the throttle, on corner exits, you will save fuel. Looking at Jimmy Cocker even right now, he's behind David Moransky, who's on the tail end of the lead lap. Kind of in the draft right now. Jimmy can use this if he wants to try to save a little bit more fuel than the chasing pack behind him.
Jimmy going down right to that white line in 4th gear. As you said, he's going to be right behind David Moransky, who lost it earlier. No caution came out, but man, he's doing a phenomenal job. Almost a full second ahead of second place, which is Tristan Helf. But take a look at how he babied that throttle coming off the exit. I mean, he was not full throttle, just feathering it as much as he could to try to hold on to that grip.
Indeed, and the other problem was he got up right behind that 7-Eleven of Moransky, and it got him into the dirty air. So in every one of these stock cars, but especially these Gen 7s, which are so aero dependent, if you get in the dirty air within like 2/10 of the car in front of you, you're gonna have to lift, and it's gonna give the run to cars behind you. Luckily, Jimmy still plenty clear of our second place runner at the moment, so not a problem there.
Unfortunately, it did cost him about 3/10 as you see Tristan Helf going down low. Now the question is, has Tristan saved enough tire to make up the rest of the gap? Fortunately, Jimmy does not have to worry about any lap traffic for a while at least. But man, he did lose about 3/10. We'll see what happens with the rest of it.
Yes, he did, but like I said, he had about a second to like second and a quarter over Tristan behind him, so they broke about even in terms of time on that last lap. So if Jimmy can just maintain that, he should be okay. Meanwhile, Brody trying to work his way around the now lapped 7-Eleven here in P3.
Looks like a battle trying to brew up here between Francis Hamilton and Joe Berg sitting P5. They did go too wide for a split second, but Joe Berg kind of falling back here. Fortson Poston, he's going to be P6 trying to make his way up through the field. But Matt, I got to put you on the spot. I've done this every race, but I forgot so far. Who do you have winning tonight?
I think we're getting a repeat. The way that 11 car has looked all day long without some chaos somewhere, I'm not sure anybody's got anything for Jimmy Cocker, so I'm going to put my money on that number 11 FedEx Toyota.
Yeah, you know, it just he's looking good in a next-gen car. You can tell it's got to be one of his favorites. I don't know if it is his favorite, but man, he's just so confident out there, and every week he's got a very, very fast car. So I agree. I think he could be our first repeat winner for Season 6.
Of course, as soon as we start singing his
I know.
praises, Tristan Helf is doing what Joe Berg did earlier, but he saved his tires up a bit more before he went to that high side. He's starting to roll the high side and try to reel in that number 11 Toyota in front of him. We'll see if he can't get there.
Yeah, you know, I'll tell you what, Tristan Helf, I've raced with him for years. He is a fantastic driver. I've learned a lot from him in those years, but I can say he is a fantastic tire saver. He always tells you, if you take care of the car will take care of you. And he is huge on that. Back up the entry. Make sure that you have enough tire wear left in the back part of the race. And you can see he is gaining on Jimmy Cocker, but I have a feeling we're going to see some pit stops coming up shortly. So we'll see how that plays out. But man, he is definitely starting to close that gap.
Definitely is. They broke about even. Jimmy was about a 100th faster on the previous lap, but Tristan rolling that high side is going to give him momentum towards Jimmy. And it also depends, how early do you want to go on fuel? Like, we're not, like, is the estimate's about 40 laps. Like, these drivers now have done about 45-ish, as we get Christopher Pugliese calling out that he's coming to pit road next time. So that will be the first one, and if you pit early, you can get such an advantage, especially in these Gen 7s with the ability to arrow grief other drivers. Well, Pugliese maybe had a problem as he's coming in, not sure, but leaders continue to circulate.
Yeah, they're coming around here, but I am kind of curious how it's going to go for pit stops. I know a lot of drivers were saying it is so sketchy trying to get on pit lane. So we'll have to find out, but you can see a driver down low. That's going to be Joe Turley. I'm not sure what happened with him, if he was just going in for a routine pit stop here, but Luke Allen is in for his pit stop. So I was right around where I thought these drivers would go in, and we're definitely starting to see it. When is our leaders coming in?
Probably pretty quick. I think Joe Turley might have got caught for speeding. He's being shown as 2 laps down, which is unfortunate. Not sure if that's the case, but it looked like on his stop that he was held in the box for a little bit after they did the 4-tire change on that dart number 30. So we'll have to see, but right now he zooms back by Jimmy Cocker, gets back to tail end of 1 lap down. Well,
that is definitely a heartbreaker. We spoke to him earlier. He was doing a phenomenal job, so you hate to see how that plays out, and I'll tell you what, it definitely can change in a split second. Those pit stops can ruin you. Getting loose off of one exit can also ruin your night. So it's just something that these drivers have to constantly contend with. But we're coming up almost to 70 laps here out of 107. This race has absolutely flown by, but Jimmy Cocker, I'm pretty sure he's led most, if not all of them. He is just on a run, but Helf, he is not letting him go. He is coming up to his back bumper, Matt.
Yeah, Tristan looks like that tire wear advantage that he might have, and that's saying something because Jimmy has been very, very good on his tires all season long. So for Tristan to be able to reel him in on the back half of the run, it's impressive. Joe Berg, meanwhile, was chasing him down for a while. He's just coming off pit road now. Routine stop, no hold. He looks good. The question is, how will this affect him? Will he be able to get enough time back with the early pit stop to maybe jump to the lead after the cycle?
Yeah, I'm very curious how that's going to play out for these guys, but really kind of babying this car, trying to make sure that the tires will last. You can see it just that car really wants to drop loose here, and I'm sure they are also tight as kind of everything at the moment, but we're kind of mixed up here with people starting to take those pit stops, so strategy is definitely different for a lot of these guys.
100%. I mean, and it's going to be, right? Like, you have guys who are going to stay out as long as possible and maybe hope to get lucky with a caution flag. You're going to have guys that want to go early and hope it goes green because they know they've got a little bit better of the wear than the other drivers around them, or at least they think they do. It's just going to be a guessing game to see who comes out with the lead.
Man, oh man, Juice, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. That is crazy. Thank you guys. Welcome in. Welcome in. We're here at Texas. It's been a fantastic race. One caution of the night, but Jimmy Cocker, our leader, has just been so consistent, and I do believe we're going to have the rest of these drivers make their pit stop very soon, I would imagine. But Josh Cole up 9 spots. He says P6. Austin Mitty, he's going to be 7th with Jose Ruiz sitting P8th. Andrew Sanford 9th, and Jordan McGraw coming up, rounding out your top 10. Matthew Gale, he makes his way onto pit lane. Evan J. Adams also making his way to pit lane.
Yep, and now we're starting to see more and more of those front runners get ready to come in. Looks like I thought Brody Folliker was going to go. He stays out another lap. Maelstrom, Austin Mitty coming in, along with, I believe that's Andrew Sanford in behind him.
Ooh,
Sanford
coming in hot.
aggressive on pit entry. Ooh, and remember, they moved this pit entry line, and it caught out a lot of people, and it caught Sanford. I'm seeing a black flag on him for the entry, so probably too fast entering.
Yeah, I saw him coming in really hot, so I'm not surprised. I'm heartbroken for him, but not surprised because that seemed to be a little too fast there. We'll see how it pans out for him, but I am really surprised that we have not had our leaders come in, but here comes Brody Folliker, Fortson Poston.
Black flag.
Again, black flag for who?
Brody. Brody was a little too quick on entry. I saw the speed dropping, but he was at about 52 on entry, and that just caught him. That's a backbreaker for him. He'd been running third and looking like he might have something to say by the end of this race. Now he's going to need some help.
Tristan Health, P2. He makes his way on in. Jimmy Cocker staying out. I'm surprised he's staying out that long. We'll see how it works out for him. So far, he's led all of this race, if not most. So very, very tight. He's got his teammates for FIWB right behind him. Up 3 spots from where he started. Francis Hamilton currently sitting second.
Yep, and Jimmy, I was going to say, if Jimmy doesn't respond to Tristan Health, he will not lead every lap that he's running under green flag conditions. He brings it in now. He needed to do it. That's what's called responding when you're out there, because you're going to lose about a second to a second and a half against a car with new tires, potentially even as much as 2. So good job by Jimmy realizing and immediately getting that number 11 onto pit road, and getting it onto pit road looks like cleanly. Yep, yeah, cleanly. No black flag for the 11.
Great job on his end. Francis Hamilton going to be your new leader as pits are well underway here. But Juice, if you're still out there, I saw you win a race earlier tonight. You did a great job. Let me know how the rest of your stream was. But man, he's always a blast. If you guys have not followed Juiced Racing, be sure to do so. He is a great racer, and man, he keeps you entertained out there. Jose Ruiz, though, he is sitting P2. Team FTR doing a great job, up 11 spots after all these different pits going on. Philip Bridgman 3rd, Travis Stroney in 4th, and Jimmy Cocker, he's coming out 5th.
Yep, and he got in front, I believe he did. Yes, he did. He got in front of Tristan Health. Good job by Jimmy right there, and Tristan's probably not too happy. He probably thought he got him with the undercut, and not quite. Good job by Jimmy to cover it off, stay in front, because that is the effective race lead. When we see the front 4 cars come down pit road, Jimmy Cocker will cycle back to the race lead.
Man, oh man, that's exactly what he needed out here. So we'll see how well he takes care of these tires now. I mean, he's got a nice little gap between him and Tristan Health. So we'll see what happens. But Jose Ruiz still out there. Francis Hamilton, he has made his way on in to pit lane.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it's like these drivers can only go so far before the tires just completely start to come off these cars. So not a surprise, but Jose is still out there kind of hoping against hope he gets a lucky yellow to keep him up front, be able to pit from the lead. Right now, there's only, as it stands, 4 cars on the lead lap. So he'd be pitting and be able to come out P4, which would be a phenomenal jump for him if he gets it, but I'm not sure he's going to get it.
Travis Stroney in 2nd currently. Jimmy Cocker 3rd. Tristan Health 4th. and Joe Berg's going to round out your top 5. It is lap 81 of 107. There's not a lot of laps left, so it is really coming down to the wire here. How well are they going to take care of the tires? How well did they get onto pit lane for drivers like Brody Folliger? He lost a lot of spots after that black flag. He is P19th. Meanwhile, he was running in the top 5 before that happened, so absolute heartbreaker for Brody tonight.
100%. That's just, it's an awful feeling. It's a sinking feeling when you're coming onto pit road and you see the black flag come up that you just got caught speeding. And unfortunately, Texas, with their iRacing redesign to match what real life is, it has caught out countless drivers I've seen across a number of leagues. Just how early you have to be on the brakes. So many drivers, it's muscle memory, right, when you're coming onto pit road from under green to try to get the car slowed up, and you're so used to it that you just your instincts kick in and you forget that you need to back it up like about another 100 feet to make sure you get slowed down. And it's just unfortunate for Brody because he's now running P18.
Yeah, that is definitely a tough one to see. You know, he's got to be extremely frustrated, but take a look at our track map. There are cars all over this track. We have our leader going on to the backstretch. Meanwhile, Travis, he is going through the tri-oval. He sits P2. Jimmy Cocker, he's in 3rd, and he is now going through the tri-oval. So these drivers incredibly spaced out, and I do believe Jose and Travis might be the only ones who have not gone in. We'll have to take a look here, but I do believe that is the case.
I believe that is correct as well, Eliza, and they're just hoping, right? Right now, that's all Jose's doing. He's got a nice lead. He can back up as much as he needs to try to run like a Hail Mary strategy and hope for a caution flag that would keep him in the top 4. Stays out again. I'm really impressed with the fuel mileage from him, honestly. I don't believe he would have pit under green previously, so the fact that he's done about 60-something laps on this tank of gas, it's very impressive, as I believe Travis Stroney has as well.
Yeah, they both have about 65 laps on this stint. The one before that was with the caution, and that was 20 laps. So these guys still out there, but Matt, they have to go in. Isn't that only going to hurt them in the long run?
It is, but at this point, they're committed,
Yeah.
right? This is like, as somebody who's second-guessed themselves on a strategy call and bailed out midway through, you're at this point, you're committed. You've gone about 10, 15 laps further than anyone else. You're just hoping to get a caution, and I think that hope's just going away for Jose. I see him getting ready. He's called it out. He's coming in this time.
Let's go on board with Jose. Let's see how he enters pit lane, which we've talked about. It is a difficult pit entry, but it looks like he does a perfect job of getting on in. So we'll see when Travis makes his way. But Jimmy Cocker, he's got some company. Take a look. Tristan Health taking a look on the inside, and he is going to put it down there into the corner.
Yeah, and this is something we haven't seen a lot of. Jimmy Cocker under threat, having to fight back, especially from that outside line. He's been able to fight back on the bottom a lot of the time as they chase after the effective race leader, Travis Stroney, who still has to pit. They've ran him down on those old tires. This could get interesting as they're still side by side off two, rapidly catching the 14.
Not what Jimmy Cocker wants to see. He's going to take it down low for Travis Stroney, which is now not what Tristan wants to see. Both of these drivers, man, have to maneuver around that. What happened to Jimmy Cocker? Man.
What? Wait.
No, tell me it's not so.
He's blinking.
Yeah. He's had a lot of technical issues, and, you know, Tristan is saying, what in the world is happening? And Jimmy, he's got to be hoping that nothing is going on. Man, he is lagged out of a couple of races, so I really hope he can stay here.
Indeed, and remember, he also had that one race where he qualified, I don't remember if it was on the pole, but then he had a technical glitch on the grid and had to reset to the pit lane. Still had a good recovery drive from what I remember, but Tristan Health on the attack, and Jimmy trying to roll the top, and Oh, just a little
Ooh.
loose, and he couldn't do it. Health leads. Jimmy's going to try to get him back into 3.
Jimmy's like, not so fast. I'm not going to let you get away with that too easy. So here he goes on the inside, and take a look. He's coming up the track. Going to be super tight with Tristan Health. Very, very fun battle to watch. I know these guys are going to have a lot to say about this after the race, but man, oh man. Clean racing these two. You could fit a piece of paper between them. And both of these drivers, they have a win. So if either one of them wins, it's going to be a repeat winner for the first time this season.
That would be huge for them. This would be huge. Jimmy, just to keep up the momentum after his Daytona win. Tristan looking to get it here. And he's starting to pull away just a little bit. Maybe Jimmy's car is not as good in dirty air as it was in the clean air. We'll have to see if he can't come back at him as we're getting less than 16 laps to go.
What a race. Real, I see you out there, the golden voice. Oh, you're very, very kind. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well out there. But man, Tristan almost putting half a second over Jimmy Cocker, and Jimmy has led so many laps tonight. This is going to be a heartbreaker for him if this one gets away. So we'll see what happens. 93 of 107. This race is quickly coming to a close.
Indeed, and that is the last thing that Jimmy Cocker wants to have to be dealing with right now. The lapped car, the number 84 of Riley Sawyer. He's multiple laps down after his connection issue, but Riley just drives by Jimmy, and now he's going to put dirty air on him off of 4. That's all. That might be all Tristan Health wants to see right now. Just stay there, please, Riley.
Yeah, Riley's had a tough night also. Started third, and earlier incident, just so unfortunate, but Jimmy Cocker gotta be extremely frustrated. He has led 78 laps, so I think at this point he wishes he could rearrange that and lead those 78 laps on the final part of the race, but Tristan Health, he is almost up to a second gap. Not exactly what Jimmy wants to see, but man, Tristan has got to be loving the clean air.
And it can change the handling characteristics so much. It helps with tire wear. It helps with handling. It just helps with everything in these Gen 7s that, like I've said before in this broadcast, are so aero dependent. They're frustratingly dependent on having clean air on the nose, even a little bit, like a sliver of clean air. So Tristan being able to run away with this, we'll see if that's too early, if he's pushing his tires too early to try to run away from Jimmy, if Jimmy might be saving, or if Tristan's the tire whisperer today here at Texas.
It's a great word to use, but you see Tristan Health, our leader in that 38 machine. Meanwhile, second is going to be that 11 car, Mr. Jimmy Cocker. Third going to be Fortson Poston, but you can see the gap between these guys. That's quite the gap. Fortson coming off of exit 4, and our leaders coming into turn 1.
Yep, and the leaders, this is why they were doing it. Like, they broke away from the cars behind, the 3, 4, 5 battle behind them. It became, right at the end of that long green flag run before our pit stops, Jimmy versus Tristan, and now Tristan just incredible pace here on the short run to get away a bit from Jimmy Cocker. We'll see if Jimmy can find a way back to him, or if Tristan's going to be our first repeat winner.
Man, Matt, I would love to see if that didn't happen with Riley earlier. Take a look. I mean, he's could be on a different strategy too, but he had such speed tonight. It's just such heartbreaking to see how that's played out, but that 84 going around, so he's got to definitely have fresher tires, but he had a lot of speed tonight, so you hate to see it.
100%, and it's the luck of the draw with iRacing. It can literally be something completely out of your control, like wheel failure, equipment failure, internet failure, weather blows through, you lose connection or lose power. It can just be and it doesn't take much, folks. Literally, you can lose power for a split second, and that's enough to kick your Wi-Fi off, your internet off, and you lose connection to the server. And by the time you get back in, if you don't have a lot of cautions like we haven't had tonight, you're in trouble. And unfortunately, Riley's just been on the the unfortunate end of us having a long green flag race.
13 drivers on the lead lap. Philip Bridgman is the first driver on a lap down. So, man, absolutely crazy. But 8 laps to go. Tristan still holding strong, almost up to a 1.5 second gap between him and Jimmy Cocker, who sits P2. Fortson Poston in 3rd, and then we're going to have Joe Berg in 4th. Running out your top 5 is going to be Austin Mitty, who has shown incredible consistency this season and a lot of speed. So great to see him out here doing well.
Indeed, good job by him. Played the strategy right, got himself in a good position. Francis Hamilton runs 6th. 7th is Jordan McGraw. Great recovery drive from him, honestly. He was one of those cars that went through the grass and had a spine-jarring ride over the grass earlier in this race, and he's in 7th. That's just ahead of Luke Allen. While Tom Flitcroft is 9th. Matthew Gale currently trying to hold on. Matthew Gale trying to hold on to P10. With, I can believe Brian Fizikemi's behind him in P11.
Yeah, Jose Ruiz moves up to 9th. Brian Pizzicemi in 12th. Evan Adams in 13th with Philip Bridgman 14th. Nick Tarana, he's going to round out your top 15. Brody Folliker, we talked about him earlier. An unfortunate entry into pit lane. It cost him a lot of spots. He was in the top 5. He sits 16th after a speeding penalty. 17th going to be Christopher Pugliese, 18th. Travis Stroney, 19th Josh Cole, and 20th going to be Andrew Sanford, and we're up 5 to go.
5 to go, and if I can find the leader again, he is not backed off. 31.003. Cocker a little faster on the previous lap, but Health continuing to pull away the gap. 1 3/4 seconds. What a drive from Tristan.
Yeah, he already won at Kansas, looking for another win here tonight at Texas, and I do believe he is the driver that I talked to before the race, and he said, and he did say, I'm pretty sure, that he did not like Texas whatsoever. He was not good here, and I said, watch you win the race. And here we are, 3 to go.
You pulled the anti-commentator first with that one, apparently. Apparently we have to only be live for that to
I guess
be a
so,
curse.
right?
So, yeah,
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
very impressive. Very, very impressive. I can see Jimmy trying every line, trying to find any speed to maybe get back to Tristan, but unless Tristan has a big slip up and we don't have anything happen at the end of the race, I'm not saying it, Tristan Health might be able to bring this one home.
Yeah, we're going to find out. 2 laps to go coming up on the white flag here. But man, oh man, he is fantastic at saving those tires. As I said earlier, he said, take care of your car. Your car will take care of you. And that's exactly what he did tonight. Started 7th, currently in the lead. Coming up on the final lap, it will be white flag. And we'll see if he can hold on to it for one more lap here at Texas Motor Speedway. And he's coming up on some traffic.
A little bit, but I think with Joe Turley and Riley Sawyer being laps down, Riley's far enough ahead. Joe just lets him have it off of turn 2 as Tristan blinks out for a moment. Boy, that would be heartbreaking if that happened. Back into 3 and 4. He proved a better Jimmy Cocker. He gets one over on him, and Tristan Health is going to win Texas.
Yeah, Tristan Health, our 2-time winner this season. He gets it at Kansas. He gets it at Texas. Put another sticker on it. He gets it done. Great job. Jimmy Cocker going to come around for P2, Fortson Poston. He's in 3rd. Joe Berg is going to be 4th, and Austin Mitty, he rounds out your top 5. What an incredible race tonight. And next week it's going to get very interesting as it is the All-Star race at Charlotte.
Fantastic. Means these drivers can just go for it, full bore, no points on the line, all for pride. That'll be a lot of fun to watch.
Great night for Tristan, 2-time winner, gets another win for Minutemen Motorsports. We saw him in an interview a couple of weeks ago, and he had his teammates in here tonight, and maybe they gave him some good luck. But man, what a race, what a drive from Tristan Health. We see him burning it down out here, very talented in that number 38 machine. And
What is that? I'm sorry,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I'm saying, what is that now? 4 wins for Minutemen in the first 6 races of the season?
I know, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Impressive.
Absolutely. We'll get these guys in the booth here, but no strangers to the booth. We got Jimmy Cocker and Fortson Poston. We'll get him in here, but man, oh man, what an incredible race. Tristan, it is Eliza. Take us through how you got it done in that final part of the race.
I actually thought I was burnt when he got out ahead of me and had a clean air. I just drove the absolute piss out of it, and things worked out.
They definitely did work out. And what is it that you told me about Texas? That it wasn't your...
It's my my worst mile and a half. 100%.
And I said, watch you win it tonight. And here we are in victory lane, man. That's crazy. You guys, how important was tire saving out there tonight?
First run, important once it rubbered up. That second run, my right rear was about to explode. I felt it give away coming out of 2, like a couple laps before I pitted, and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna be pitting, because I was right there, and I was sniffing the lead, and I about lost it off 2, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go pit, and then Jimmy followed me after that and beat me out, and I'm like, well, we're gonna have to go work for it now. So I was trying to jump over him through the pit cycle, and I'm just glad it stayed green.
It did stay green, and you did a fantastic job out there tonight. Next week, we're headed to Charlotte for the All-Star race. How you feeling about that?
I like Charlotte a little bit more.
All right.
Because there are some seams in it that you can kind of use, even though it's not progressive, but it does help the car a little bit. And well, 3 and 4, 1 and 2 is progressive. But yeah, I feel a lot more confident at Charlotte. Toss it in there and just see if it sticks.
We'll see if it does, but I'll tell you what, it was fun watching you and Jimmy battle it out there for several laps. Do you have a favorite battle tonight?
Definitely the battle for the lead. That was pretty cool. Like, we made it look good.
You definitely did. You guys definitely made it look good. So huge congratulations on the second win of the season. Very consistent, very strong showing, and you took home the win. Great job.
Thank you.
All right, Matt, we have Jimmy Cocker, P2, heartbroken for him. Let's have a talk with him.
All right, Jimmy, Matt up here in the booth. A phenomenal job for most of this race. Started from the pole, looked like the car to beat. What did you need in the final laps to maybe go get Tristan or hold him off? Because it seemed like you were very strong early on and being able to kind of stop anybody from getting to you, and then the 38 was able to kind of get around you. Was there anything you could have done to fend that off and come home out in front?
I don't know, man. That thing was wicked loose for me on that last run. I needed some grip. I didn't know. The first run was perfect. I just felt like I was on rails. Second run, same deal. Felt like I was on rails. That third run after that pit stop, I don't know if we put the wrong, the right side tires on the left side or what the heck happened there. That was that felt like the car was going backwards because we were also dragging back to Fortson and Berg and all those guys that we seemed to be faster the entire race. I don't know if it was just a story of clean air giving me such a huge advantage. This is not one of my better racetracks, Matt. I am not good at Texas, so I'm just happy to come out with a P2. I think the right driver came out with the win. He's obviously the fastest. Even in dirty air, I didn't know, like, he was still able to stay behind me in dirty air. He has like some sort of blocker for dirty air or something on the front of that car. It's very impressive for him to stay right there and go ahead and capture that win. So good to him.
Yeah, and next week we're going to Charlotte for the All-Star race. Same question. What do you think about going to Charlotte?
love that racetrack actually. That's one of my better 1.5 milers. So hopefully we can come away with one spot better. I know today's gonna be good for points, but just one spot short. Hopefully we can get it at Charlotte.
Did you have a favorite battle out there tonight, or was it more fun when you were all the way out front and just leading?
I'll be honest with you, Matt. I think the only battle I had all race was Tristan. I like literally, I think that was the only thing that happened that entire race to me. So yeah, that battle with Tristan was pretty fun. I like that we were able to do it contact free. I know I was lagging a little bit. Hopefully I didn't screw anything up there, but that was the worst time for lag. I started blinking out right when he was on my door.
Indeed, but you both kept it clean. We kept it green and got home. You got home one spot. You got home in second tonight. Hopefully next week, maybe you can go one better. We will see about it next week. Thank you very much, Jimmy.
Yep, thank you, Matt. Have a good one.
All right. Liza, we have our third place finisher, Fortson Post, and an impressive run for him.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Fortson, you're 5th in points, and tonight adds to the top 5. It's going to be your 4th top 5 finish. Take us through your race. How did the car feel?
It was weird because I was doing officials earlier this week and just to try and practice, and it didn't transfer at all. I didn't know what it was because in officials you're running 4th gear, you're downshifting like really aggressively. In this session, you were so gingerly getting on a throttle, and sometimes 5th gear was better at some parts. In the first stint, 5th gear was definitely better. But I thought the race was okay, but I felt like if I got some clean air, I probably could have walked away from Jimmy a little bit, but I just couldn't get up to him because Joe Berg is amazing. Ryan Newman flashbacks. I just couldn't get by him, but I felt like strategy did okay. Finished P3. I can't complain too much.
Yeah, I mean, a very strong night. Was there any battles that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Let me think. I've only fought like one dude the whole night, and I just couldn't get away from him.
I feel like that's the case
Joe
for
Berg.
most. Yeah.
This is just Joe Berg. Couldn't get in front of him, but besides when it didn't matter. So,
Yeah.
but it was a fun race. I enjoyed it.
How aggressive do you have to be once you go into those start or restart? I mean, I feel like once you guys got moving, it ended up being single file, trying to save the tires and trying to get that clean air. So how aggressive do you have to be at those start and restarts?
I'm still learning that too because I'm still learning how everybody drives and who like people's tendencies and whatnot. But I felt like I wasn't too terribly aggressive because everybody's normally like pretty laid back on the starts, like for a longer run, which I'm very impressed with how we only had one caution.
Yeah.
2. I was impressed by that. So
It was a great night of racing and another consistent run for you. Next week, we're headed to Charlotte. How do you feel about trying to get into that race for the All-Star?
I don't know. I haven't done any practice there since they changed the car. So we'll see. I'll hit it hard this week. We'll see.
We'll definitely see. But great race to you tonight. Congratulations on P3.
Thank you.
All right, Matt, that is it for us tonight. A quick race here at Texas Motor Speedway. Everyone did a phenomenal job. Very loose conditions out there. Clean air was definitely priority along with saving those tires. But next week, we're headed to Charlotte.
Indeed, and it'll be it'll be somewhat similar in just in terms of not burning the tires off. It'll be a lot easier to do that. I know that sounds weird, but because we're going to be running in different conditions, drivers are going to push early and it could burn the tires up, so you could still see the same comers and goers when it comes to tire wear next week. But we did see a great race here at Texas. Only one caution, which might be a season best for us. It's an impressive job by these drivers to keep a hold of it as well as they did tonight.
I agree. Great job for the drivers. Next week, we're going to head to the All-Star race at Charlotte. We'll see you next week at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. You guys have a great week. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Everyone appreciates it. See you later.
Take care. Take care, everybody.